Yeah, yeah. So when the company started, it was called JM Lab in 1979.
Yes.
And do you know how and why JM? What was his name?
Yes, GM. Why GM Lab? Why? Because GM stands for Jacques Mahul, the founder of the company. Because first of all, he has audio engineering degree, and he was passionate about audio, and he wasn't really satisfied with the solutions available on the market at that time. So he decided to, let's say, start designing speakers and then designing drivers as well.
Do you know what was the first very successful product he made after he started the company?
Yes, it was the DB15.
DB15.
Yes, and this one was two-way passive speaker using a dual voice coil on the woofer in order to lower the impedance a bit and ensure, let's say, an easy drive of the speaker with smallest amplifier in order to easily power it and save some extra money as well.
You know, what was the reason why it became so successful?
Because the speaker was, first of all, quite compact, which was something interesting at that time, especially because it was compact and able to deliver a very good frequency response in the bass area as well. So you had very good bass, tight bass, and very good mid-range at the same time, which was something quite unusual at that time, because at that time with 5 or 6.5 inch woofer you could have good frequency response in the low end, but mid-range that would probably lack of definition, or a good mid-range but not enough, let's say, frequency response not extended enough in the low frequencies. And thanks to this speaker you had both in the same time.
When was that?
1979.
Oh, already?
Yeah, yeah.
So JM Labs started in a hi-fi audio
Yes.
market, and Focal name came
when Jacques Mahul started to sell the audiophile kits, because in the 80s it was very common for audiophiles to purchase a kit composed of tweeter, mid-range, woofer, crossover, plus the cabinet or only the drivers, in order to make your speakers by your own, because it was something, let's say, quite enjoyable to do for audiophiles, because thanks to these they could start with high quality drivers and then choose the design of the speaker they want to do, be it the size, the shape, and so on. So it was something quite popular in the 80s, yeah.
There used to be Focal JM Lab, and then company now called Focal.
Yes.
Is there any reason why?
Yes, because especially in Asia it was really difficult to pronounce GM Lab. And the same in Spain, as an example, because J, you have to pronounce it, so it's GM Lab, it's not that nice. And also, in terms of branding point of view, it makes obviously much more sense to communicate about one name only, instead of having to communicate on two names and creating some kind of, let's say, misunderstanding at some point. So we decided to go for one brand only, and then Focal, be it for photography world or audio world means precision.
It might be difficult for you to answer, but as you are, you have a partnership with the OEM companies. You OEM to companies,
Yes.
and you may have a chance to compare to what they design, and then. Do you have any comment? You know, our speaker, your speaker is better compared to theirs.
OEM actor, we do act on the market as a brand. So the idea is to optimize the quality of a product we can offer, be it to a partner, an OEM partner, or to the sound engineer, as an example, for the studio monitoring section. So that's not a question. I mean, don't forget something. We are Focal, so we have a brand image. So the idea is to deliver, be it the OEM partner or the sound engineer, with the best solution. If the idea is to avoid competing with a company and giving them a poor solution in order to keep a competitive advantage, that doesn't make sense, because you will also compromise your brand positioning and your brand image as well.
So your philosophy sounds like you have a policy of bringing out the best solution to the market with whatever the market demand for.
Exactly. That's exactly the philosophy, and this is the philosophy of the company since the early beginning. And I think this is the reason why the company is that successful nowadays. It's because, first of all, of the Focal background and the philosophy of the company that remains consistent year after year after year. And it's also very interesting for us to keep on working on OEM partners demand, because thanks to this we also get some different knowledge, and we can keep on improving our technologies thanks to new ideas coming from the problem our partners are facing. Because as they are acting in different markets than we do, sometimes answering a problem in a live market industry, as an example, can bring an interesting idea for the hi-fi or for the studio monitoring market as well. So it's always makes sense not to stay 100% focused on what you are doing, but it's important to keep your eyes wide open in order to check what's happening in this market, what are the requirements of this market. Probably if we can come out with a suitable solution for this market and this partner, it could somehow be interesting to develop that solution and change a bit that solution to develop a new market which is just starting in the hi-fi world or the pro world and so on. SM9 thing. So yeah, so please visit Rockon, discover the SM9, and we all hope at Focal that the SM9 will meet your requirements. Thank you.